Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Coffee with Melissa. I'm your host, Melissa. Cheers. So, as always, Monday Morning Coffee is sponsored by Honeybee Wellness's one-on-one health coaching program. So, if you want to have more energy, more mental clarity, minimize your anxiety and depression, and maybe lose a little bit of weight on the side as a healthy side effect, one-on-one health coaching just might be a good fit for you. So how it works is throughout my 12-week program, you and I will meet over Zoom for 60 minutes and we will talk about anything you want to in relation to your health goals. So my role as your health coach is to help you change your behavior. I am a behavior change specialist, so I will help you find the resources within to create healthier lifestyle habits that align with your core values and your health goals. So alongside our 12 60-minute coaching sessions each week, you will receive complimentary access to our online Wellness Abundance program. So Wellness Abundance is a program that we've created to educate you on a little bit about how the body works, the benefits of, eating whole real foods, benefits of movement, vitamin D, getting out in nature, all that good stuff. And so that is the education piece of the coaching program. So if you would like to explore one-on-one health coaching a little bit more, simply email me at melissa@honeybee.kitchen and you and I will set up a time for us to chat over the phone or over Zoom, and I'll answer any questions you have, and we'll see if coaching is a good fit for you. It may or may not be. So, okay, this morning I am super excited to share this quote from Elon Musk. Elon Musk is, everyone knows who Elon Musk is. He's the founder of Tesla and SpaceX. So he works with NASA too, for all the space stuff. And I found that I came across this quote from him, and it was really interesting. It really kind of stood out to me and made me think. So I'm going to read the quote now. There's a silly notion that failure's not an option at NASA. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you're not innovating enough. End quote, Elon Musk. And it's really interesting to me because, we all know he's working with NASA. And because I feel like NASA's whole thing with that is like, basically we have to get these astronauts home safely. I think that's from my perspective, what they mean when they mean failure is not an option. But I could be wrong. But Elon, he has a point. Failing is really, really important in life. Super, super duper important, because if, like Elon says, if we're not failing, we're not innovating enough. So we're not growing, and it's interesting to me how we're so afraid of failure as a society. And I was like that too for years and years. And now I'm like, you know what? I failed so many times and I picked myself back up that I'm just going to keep on doing it. And I when I look back, I think about like how much I've learned and how much I've grown from my failures. So a quick anecdote, when we hiked Mount Whitney for the first time, we got to this point, it had snowed like 2 weeks before we did the hike. And we had got to this point where it was really icy on the trail, and it was very much like it was dangerous. It was way, 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 way out of my comfort zone. and I had a panic attack on the trail. So it was my husband and I and three of our friends behind us. And we're on the 99 switchbacks. So if you're familiar with the Mount Whitney hike, those are really popular. There's literally 99 switchbacks that you have to go up through this one section. So we had just started up the 99 switchbacks, and it was so slippery, and our friend was in front of us, and he walks around the corner. He's like, oh man, this is so sketch. And I'm like, oh my God. And my heart started pounding, and I couldn't breathe, and I had a panic attack. I had a panic attack on Mount Whitney, and it was awful. So my husband is like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? So I couldn't move. So he takes my pack off me and hands it to our friends behind us, and they take my pack. And once I kind of calmed down a little bit and caught my breath and my anxiety attack started to fade, Scott and I walked down, and, I got my pack from my friends, and they continued on the hike a little bit further. They ended up turning around too, but only 3 of our friends that day made it to the summit. But I learned a lot from that day. Mount Whitney had been a goal of mine for so long, and I learned a lot that day about, my comfort levels. And that was a big disappointment for me, because not only did I not achieve my goal, but my husband was like, I'm not going to the summit without you. We're doing this together. So part of me felt guilty because he wasn't there, or he wasn't able to do it, but he was like totally okay with turning around. And I'm so grateful for that. But I learned a lot from that experience. And the next time around, I did things completely differently. The training was different, not just the physical training, but the mindset training was completely different. And it was successful, the second time. We made it to the summit, and it was amazing. It was awesome. It was a beautiful day. We really lucked out with the weather. However, I learned a lot from that first experience, that failure. And, it's the same thing. Like, recently I just started eliminating fruit from my diet. And people think, oh, fruit, it has nutrients in it, antioxidants. I used to eat a banana every day. You get potassium from that, which is an essential electrolyte that our bodies need and rely on. But I just stopped eating because it wasn't serving me. I was gaining weight. I was eating too much of it. So one day I just thought, I'm just going to eliminate that. Sure enough, I started leaning up, and I feel like my hormones kind of balanced out a little bit more with my hunger, my satiety hormone, and all that good stuff. But eating all that fruit for a while there, like, part of me could be like, you failed. Like, you failed. You are supposed to be this, example of health, to your clients and to your community and everyone around you. And you failed. But I learned from it. I learned that my body cannot take that much fruit, that it just does not respond well, and it stores fat more easily and all this other things. But I learned so much from that failure, from that fruit consumption failure. And now, I very rarely eat fruit, and I feel so much better, so much better with it. But if I hadn't done that and had that failure to where I was eating too much fruit, I wouldn't have learned about this. So I want you to sit down and write out 3 failures that you've had on your health journey so far. 3 failures. And then after you write those down, go back through those 3 failures and make a list of every single thing that you've learned and what you will do differently next time. Okay? This is really powerful. It's a really great growth opportunity for you. And it's something I talk about with my clients, my coaching clients, all the time. All the time. So, all right, guys, so I'm going to read Elon's quote again. There's a silly notion that failure's not an option at NASA. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you're not innovating enough. Elon Musk. Anyways, so all successful people have tons and tons of failures in their life. They probably have more failures than successes. That's probably me too. But yeah, so learn from it and write out your failures and kind of evaluate them and see where you can grow. So, okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.